My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And it's that time again. It's the last podcast of the month, which means that it's what we're watching. Everyone's favorite segment from the Noonas, where, of course, we talk about all the stuff we've been watching this month. I think some of us have been watching more than others, but we got some good shit for you today. Before we do, though, we've had not one, but 2 group watches on our Discord. And if you haven't joined us for a group watch on our Discord, you should follow our Twitter so that you can keep apprised of when we have group watches.
And of course, our Discord.
Discord as well. The Discord, if you want to know when they are, the Twitter will tell you all of our events, but the Discord's where they happen. So
yeah, our general group watches are like very sporadic and just whenever we can fit in
whenever there's like
schedules or whatever,
a show that we want to watch coming out.
If you're part of our Patreon, we do a guaranteed monthly group watch, which is a lot of fun.
Which is so much fun. So for our general group watch this month, we watched the first episode of the new Hong Sisters drama on Netflix called Alchemy of Souls. And it was amazing.
It was so good.
So good.
I had a lot of fun with it.
I had so much fun with it. Like, if you like, it was very like Zanjia, like wuxia style, like, historical fantasy vibes, but like very heavy on the fantasy, historical styled, but definitely not supposed to be taking place in like the past with fantasy. Like, this is a alternate universe. Like, they were wearing hanbok, but they had mullets. Like, it was...
And the dialogue was a little bit like quippier
modern
and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though they're still in their dialect, though, they try to.
It was
it had like a bit of an untamed like vibe to it. The whole concept of like, taking over somebody else's body for like revenge purposes or nonsense.
But unlike the Untamed, really good special effects. And I say this as someone who loves the Untamed. The questionable special effects on that show. This one, it got that Netflix money.
They do.
They
have like sisters. They're like, yeah, we'll just give you the money. It's fine.
Get
like,
it, girls. Get it.
An energy dragon, like, there you go.
Hot as hell. Yeah. Just like, just the fucking water sword, fire swords. It's got energy sword. It's got it all.
It really does.
I really like the vibe it's taking.
I would say be ready for a lot. Like, if you haven't watched it yet, just be prepared. A lot happening. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to actually have to go rewatch it in order to
like fully see everything
and it's
going
going to
on.
be a very long show too. Right now it's at 20 episodes, which is what Netflix has it as. Like, you like can scroll down to see when like
when the episodes come out.
They've capped it at 20, but there's talk of it being 30 in total. So I don't know what that 10 is, like maybe a season 2 or
like a
epilogue
mini-series,
or something.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But this is going to be a very wild ride. It's over an hour too. like
each episode. Like,
well, and I
definitely
think these types of shows, in my opinion, the first 1 to 4 episodes is a lot of world building, or a lot of fantasy history that, since you don't really know what's going on, when you're hit with all the info, like, it doesn't fully stick in my brain. So that's why sometimes I have to go, maybe not go rewatch the entire episode, but have to go like revisit this part in the past. Who is this person? Things like that, just to like solidify in my head. And then usually later on, it's like, okay, these are the people that we're like following now. Like, it makes more sense now.
It's hard too, especially because in the very beginning you have like the most concentration of the past, and then it like kind of shifts to the like forward present. And then also when you have like people going in and out of bodies, that means like the character is 2 different actors and actresses because they are in different bodies and stuff. So you're like, oh, okay, this person's that same exact person or soul. It's like there's like beads, like kind of like how Gumiho have the beads, the energy beads. That's kind of how it is set up in this one. So it's like they can be transferred over and stuff. And there's also a lot of stuff.
The actress who plays the spirit of the female lead, like that other actress
was excellent.
Quite, like
she was on Hospital Playlist. She's awesome.
Yeah. Also, just the cast of this show is insane. Same.
So many people.
Everybody is in it.
Someone shows up and it's like, "Hi, I know you."
It's all the like actors you know and all the K-pop idols.
It was like
know.
it was
It's
like literally a parade of like, oh shit, he's in it. Like, oh shit, she's in it. Like, oh no.
And I mean, some of these characters are there for like a minute
30
and a half,
seconds.
but it's like you kind of get the sense that that's why everybody's in it. They were like, yeah, I can do a day. Like, I mean, I've got a day to give you. I'll slide me in there I'll be the barkeeper or whatever. Like it's okay.
It's wild. It's wild. I'm really excited to keep watching it.
Did anybody watch second episode?
I did. Yes,
I did too.
Yeah, so good.
Was it really good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It keeps on being good.
Like it keeps building and like.
I will say that like maybe like I wish I kind of waited for it, which I'm sure I will. Like there will be a certain point where I'm just not watching anything, so I'll have a backlog. But it's like I wanted to watch more. Like so we had watched the first episode during our watch, and like I just immediately after everybody said goodbye in Discord, I was like, click play.
Literally, I like got up from my desk. I walked down the hall to my bedroom. I sat down in bed, picked up my iPad, opened Netflix, and clicked next episode. I couldn't help myself.
Now, one thing I did want to say is the vibe of the show. It does have it's not like just a one-off quippy time. Like so you'll have like the fights and like the serious stuff, but then there'll be actual like entire interactions and scenes that are lighter. Like completely. And so those are the ones that feel a little bit more modern, a little bit more modern with how they're interacting,
It's fun. It's fun. In addition,
I'm all in for it though. It'll be really
100% in. In a real now for something completely different. Our other group watched this month. It's my birthday. Actually, the day that this comes out, this episode comes out is my birthday. So happy birthday to Natalia. I'm old. I got to pick what movie we watched, and I picked a Japanese film that has several different translations of titles, but the most common one I found was Restart After Come Back Home, which not grammatically correct, but it be what it be, which follows a young man who quits his job and moves back to his hometown where he meets the biggest sunshiny farmer and catches feelings, and
it was just sweet.
So cute. It was a sweet movie.
Super sweet.
What I actually really appreciated was that it's not as if their romantic relationship was the central focus of the entire movie, in my opinion. Like it was more slice of life feel, and it was a very, very, very slow burn to where that was not the entire
It was very organic.
And I wasn't expecting that, and it made me love the movie even more. I could see where like people would be like, "Oh, this is boring," or there's not a lot going on, but like
it was really good.
But the relationship between the two leads, they were so good, and I love Yuki Furukawa. Like he's one of my like favorite Japanese actors, and he was so good in it because he was like grumpy and like like he's coming from Tokyo after like losing or leaving his job, and just starts developing the feels.
He just catches feelings, and it's just like, oh my! But like, listen, if you get an opportunity to watch this movie, you would too when you meet this guy, this little friendly farmer. He's impossible not to love, and very much the yin to this other man's yang, in every stretch of the imagination.
Well, I really enjoyed how it wasn't necessarily like, oh, am I gay now? Oh, like it wasn't. Yeah, there weren't discussions like that. It was just all of a sudden it was like, you're very important to me, and then it kind of went from there.
It was more just like I developed feelings for this person. It never was that like really. It was about like what gender they were.
Right. Yeah. I always think that's cool when that happens.
So it does get a good recommendation. I know you're asking yourselves, where can I watch this? let's not talk about it. It's available if you know where to look, if you get my drift.
But the thing is, there aren't that many shows or movies that you're like legit worth it to find. But sometimes you have to say legit worth it to find. And this is one of them.
Legit worth it to locate.
It's a hit or miss sometimes on our Patreon because we kind of just like
We'll pick it
Yes.
random. Yeah.
We'll like have a theme or something, and then we'll be like, oh, no, that one's the best. But oh well.
Also, like, that one was so good. The amount of pressure that I have to pick next month. There's really no way that it's going to be. I'll just have to pick a totally different genre.
Pick like a fantasy or something. Like,
yeah, it has to be a different genre because there's
different
no way
country,
that it's
different genre, different vibes. Just go complete opposite, so they cannot be compared.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. Jessie, what is
a
show that you have been watching?
I have been watching a lot and adding a lot to my watch list. So I had decided that I was going to subscribe to Viki for the month because I had let my yearly thing lapse for a couple of months. And then I was like, oh, there's some really good dramas out that I want that are only on Viki because some of the J-dramas I've been interested in. And so I was like, okay, I'll focus on Viki this month. Not all of my list is on Viki. That is the problem that I came on to.
Oh, to mention though, Jessie had the brilliant idea of making herself my drama list based on platform, so that if she does, if you want to focus on a specific platform for a month or two, you don't have to go research all that information for yourself. Yeah, that's really smart.
Cuts down on it, and I'll be like, okay, now I'm in this month. I'm gonna focus on stuff. So one of the first ones that I watched is a J-drama called Marigold in 4 minutes. It's from 2019. It looked interesting to me. I talked about this on the podcast before, but Japanese rom-coms I like a little bit better. This is not really a rom-com. It's just like a fantasy romance. I really like the pacing in a lot of this and a lot of Japanese dramas and the tone. And I specifically picked this one because it starred Sota Fukushi, who was in a drama that I watched several years ago and I like, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was also in, oh gosh, what's that movie we watched? Oh my God, it's a big major series and I'm blanking on it.
The High and Low?
No. We did a spoiler episode on it. Hold on.
Japanese movie?
Yeah, he's at his house and then the things attack.
Oh my God,
oh my gosh, I can't think.
Oh,
Bleach. There you go.
Bleach.
We did a reaction to that movie.
You would think I would remember. It's a huge thing.
It has Miyabi in it. How could we forget?
Yeah.
How could we forget?
But I really like him. It also starred Ryusei Yokohama, who I also really like. He was in The Journalist at the beginning of the year. But it essentially is about this guy who has this like special power where if he touches hands with someone, he can see how they die. Like he gets a flash of it, and he's an EMT, and so here's where it like potentially gets weird for people. He was adopted into this family, and the family consists of the older brother, him, a girl who's like the same age as him, and then Ryusei is the younger brother. And he develops feelings, or he doesn't develop, he has feelings from day one for his sister. It's not as weird. It's really not as weird as it, because like they have a little like a weirder family dynamic. The father dies early on, and the mother goes and works elsewhere and just sends money back home. So like the older brother is kind of like the head of the household and stuff, and they kind of all just kind of fend for themselves. So it's not weird in that like they were raised together way, because it's kind of like they all just raised each other, and like literally from day one of him entering this family, he fell in love with the girl. So like it really isn't.
It's not like he was adopted when he was 2, or
right?
Something.
But he still was adopted like under 10. I will give that.
Okay.
But it really isn't weird. It really isn't like. So he obviously touches hands with her and then finds out stuff. So like that's the trajectory of the whole drama. But it's very sweet because there's like a lot of like moments with the people he goes and saves while he's out on his job, the family, the like just them doing stuff together. They do this thing where like the youngest brother cooks a lot for the family, and they always have like some sort of like straggler that like shows up too, like so they always have like these like family meals together with just like random people, and it's very sweet in that way. I really liked it. It's not like the best drama, but I enjoyed watching it. It was nice. There's some nice points. Obviously, I understand if that like brother sister dynamic is a thing that like worries you, but it really isn't. They don't like ever act really like brother and sister too. So it's like not, and they're very much older in the like present day, but it was sweet and nice, and I enjoyed it.
And were those shorter episodes? Like,
yeah, they're like 45, 50. Episodes. Yeah, like a normal Japanese
normal
drama.
J-drama.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, for anyone who knows me, I don't often update my drama list, but I've tried to been like really good at it and keeping up with it.
Very good at it lately.
Very good at it lately. But my list is like out of control. If anyone has been looking at it, you might have questions for my sanity, of which there is very little, because I hate watching currently airing dramas.
And guess what you're doing?
I'm watching like 13 currently.
There's just
dramas.
like that wall of like, what is it with lime green on my
it says airing. So I was like, okay, you're done. You're not going to add any more. But then literally last night, I clicked play on another one. And I started Jinxed At First. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't started
okay.
it. Okay.
So basically the basic plot of Jinxed At First is that there's this line of women who, if they touch you, they can do like various things, but they can like see the future. They can bring you good luck by like taking away your bad luck. And then they can also like use like the power of suggestion to like make people do things.
How do we get these powers? I would like these powers.
I know, right? So basically there's like this guy's family who they used to like in the story, they used to work for kings, but then they like escaped during a war. And then during the Korean War, one of them was like picked up by this soldier who then became like a conglomerate through her help, became like a big, CEO. And then so his family like basically keeps this line of women like imprisoned Rapunzel style in like a tower so that they can be their little good luck charms. And there you meet Sulbi, who's like the youngest, like the latest in the line, who's lived in this like basically 2 rooms her entire life. And she escapes. Okay. She escapes one day and meets up with this guy who's like the friend of the son of the current CEO, and like escapes with him, and they have like a lovely day. And she's like, she knows nothing about the world, obviously, and she's like, all she's read are fairy tales, so she's like, oh, this is my prince and we're gonna get married and be happy. And then he's like, I should probably like bring you back to the hotel where like you followed me from. So he shows up. The CEO sees that like she's holding his hand, sans glove, freaks out, and is like, you tried to kidnap her, like, and ruins this guy's life. Okay. And then the guy tries to commit suicide, fails. This is all like in the first 20 minutes. I'm not giving away that much on this story. I'm really not. Okay. So then he becomes like a beacon of bad luck. He like takes on a new identity, and everyone thinks he's like the worst luck ever. And meanwhile, the son of the CEO is supposed to be like utilizing this girl as his now like good luck totem, but he feels bad for her because he's not a trash person. So like he lets her escape, and then she's like, I'm gonna go find this guy. So she shows up in his life and starts like making everything lucky for him again, but like he's just losing his mind, and it is so unrelentingly adorable.
And it's non-woo.
So like non-woo, so and he's just like what I love about him is he's playing a man who's like, at first he was like, yeah, I'm really unlucky and my whole life is shit, but it be what it be. Like, it be like, if you think I'm unlucky, then better stay away from me, or like, leave me alone. And then she comes back and he's like a man on the edge of losing his mind because she knows how to do nothing. Just so she's making his life harder but better at the same time. And just the two of them together are the cutest things you've ever seen. And I'm 4 episodes deep and I'm in love with them. And
so would it be a really good binge though?
Yes. But I'm like, I like screwed myself on this one.
So hold off on it, listeners.
Yeah, because like I can see just power, like maybe half and half binge or something, but like I would power through that sucker if I could.
No,
like
I watched all 4 episodes back, like all the 4 episodes back to back, and I was I did it to myself.
You guys convinced me the other day when we were live streaming, and you were all like, "Ooh, cupcake," and I was like, "Okay, cupcake."
Sorry.
Dang it!
Stay tuned. You might hear about that one soon. No, it gets the old Natalia thumbs up so far.
Nice.
Like, it's Jessie mentioned the other day another show, which I'm sure will come up at some point. That she texted me while she was watching it, and she was like, Natalia, this is a Natalia show. Jinxed At First is another Natalia show. Like, if you find yourself like when you're listening to these episodes being like, yeah, like I like those shows that Natalia's the show, you'll like the show. You'll like it. Like, it's a delight.
It fits the Natalia archetype.
Yeah, it does. It does have like I will say, for those who don't like things that are too like goofy, it does feature a cast of very goofy neighbors that work in the same like local market street that Nan-Woo's character works in, and they're pretty over the top in general, but like the show's kind of over the top in general. So.
Yeah, they weren't going for realism with the whole good luck totem
stuff. It's got it all. You got loan sharks doing loan shark things. You've got like dumb cops. It's got it all. It's got it all. So do recommend. Sky, what have you been watching?
So this one I actually know Natalia watched too. So The Full-Time Wife Escapist, or what another title that like you won't find on the platform necessarily, but I prefer the title "We Married as a Job" because that actually explains what we're talking about here.
Oh, so contract marriage. So of course, Natalia.
Eating it
and Jin Hoshino, that like he's the main guy in it too. So that was a plus. We don't get to see him all that much on our legal side of Japanese drama.
The legal side.
Just despite the fact that he's in a lot of stuff, like it's hard for us to find his stuff. So I will say, made in 2016, doesn't feel dated, obviously, but like I'm just saying, it just now is done on Viki, so that's why just now. Backstory: I waited and waited and waited for this show to end to start it because I knew contract marriage, Japanese. I would blow through that thing.
It's like stop selling it. It's already been sold.
Yeah, I mean those type of J-dramas are just like candy. You just like blow through them with like a day or two, and you're like, okay.
because you always what you're doing is there's pressure. It's kind of like when you're reading a book, and you at least before you put the book down, you're like, I have to get to a certain action in order to like settle your nerves, even if it's not a nervous type thing. You just want to at least get to like the climax of it, right? So with a contract marriage, it's always, when do the feels happen? Like, when was the turning point? So, and then sometimes they set that back way far. And so like, you're just
far.
Yeah, it was far on this
You were on a journey in this show.
So it is really cute. I thought it was really well done. And what I really liked was there was just, so a lot of contract marriages, and this isn't to badmouth contract marriage shows, but typically there's like a really big power imbalance or a lot of grumpiness or a lot of sour feel. Like there wasn't any of that.
They don't like each other in a lot of them. They're
right.
Not
like
friendly.
A lot of times the dude is very, hard to get along with, blah, blah, blah. There wasn't really that. This male lead was much more gentle. He just didn't have a lot of self-confidence was his main thing.
He was an awkward little bean.
He was really socially awkward. That's really the extent of it. And he just he thought he wasn't cut out for relationships or that aspect of life at all. That's really just, there's not a bad bone in his body type person. So that made it feel like more of a easy watch because the stakes were so low because the male lead wasn't mean. Like you take a lot of those stakes out. And then the female lead, she's very plucky, but like not to an annoying point. She has her master's and she tried to be successful within the world of business. And it was just, she just couldn't get a job that would fit her well at all. Kept on being contract jobs. And so essentially the whole reason she just wanted a job where she felt like she was doing well. She was raised in a family of house cleaner type things, and she enjoys cleaning. So she started as his cleaning lady. And so essentially she needed somewhere to live ultimately. And he loved how she cleaned because she was very meticulous, and that's like his thing. So it became, I will give you a job. She suggested, can I have the job of being your wife? Because like I need to live somewhere and exist. Okay, like,
and they're like, okay, let's see how much it, like, you know, what
I will pay you.
What the equitable salary would be, and then we'll take that out of like your living expenses and and like very matter of fact.
But also the cool part that they actually discuss about this, even later on in the show, any even rediscussion of their relationship still involved her labor and how, especially if love gets involved, you know, women don't get paid fair amount for all of the things that they do. And so like, and love can change. You're not guaranteed the benefits of all that love.
Yeah.
And then you're not getting paid enough if you're not getting paid. So like, and then the renegotiation was always like roles and things. It was just not realistic in the slightest, of course, right? However, that very discussion is very important. Like, especially if you are a stay-at-home spouse or something, like that is a legit discussion to maybe have as far as, and ultimately he said, and this isn't a spoiler, but it became, you're seeing yourself as the employee. We should redo things to where we are co-CEOs. And what that means, and not just in like title, but like investment and money, and like it's like legit. Like those, as stay-at-home people, that's an interesting way to talk about stuff. So it is very cute. There is, you know, of course, she gets into him way before he allows himself to get feels. All these things, but
it also has really cute opening credits. They do like a fun little dance and stuff.
Oh yeah, and even at the end, did you watch them at the end too?
Yeah, they're adorable.
They do like choreography with all the characters, with all the actors and stuff. It's really, really cute. Like it's legit choreography, and he's singing because he is a professional singer. So it's like a little music video at the end with a lot of choreography.
Fun. It's very fun. Really cute. The show is very fun.
And so yeah, I really, really enjoy it. There is a follow-up movie, not on Viki yet.
Well, it's on Viki, but I ain't subbed.
Oh,
yeah.
It's been at 44% for like a week and a half because I've been sitting here twiddling. It was at 39% for like 2 weeks, and then it's now at 44, and I'm just like, you're killing me. Which I only found out after I started watching it because I just was like, I did very stupidly just was like, oh well, the show subbed. So in my brain, that meant that the movie that was like the sequel to it was also subbed. And then I made it like 15 minutes in, and suddenly there were no more subtitles. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
So I forgot to tell the rest of my story on that. So essentially, I got into watching the show because I saw that it was done. I forgot to check if the last episode was totally subbed.
Oh no.
So I went through the entire show. It was 11 episodes. I went through the entire show, binged it, like binge, which I usually don't do. And then and then I start watching the 11th episode, and I'm like, the subtitles just went away. The subtitles just went away.
That's the worst.
I was an idiot. So props to the Viki subbers. The Japanese subtitlers, from what I saw, they are overworked and stuff. So like, if you are trying to watch, just know that they are trying, and they're unpaid.
Doing their best. They're unpaid. They're doing their best.
Yeah.
So props to them. Within a day or two, I was able to finish it. Very kind of them. But yeah, don't do that. Don't be me. That's why I say that. Do not do that.
Life.
Actually
Choose
check.
life.
Yeah. So Amanda, what have you been watching?
Well, I did kind of the same thing with a completely different drama, but I saw this one. It's a Chinese drama on Viki. It's called Half Bright and Half Rain. And it is...
Sorry, it's called what?
Half Bright and Half Rain.
Oh,
and
Half Rain.
It's it's like a Janjia, but like if Xena Warrior Princess was a Janjia, like it's it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, right? But it was just the nonsense I needed that day. I like zoomed through 4 episodes. Well, 3.5 episodes, because I had the same subtitling experience when I got to episode 4. My kid walked in and started talking to me, and I thought I was like, that I had just not been paying attention. And then when I looked back, I realized, no, it's not that you're just not paying attention. There's no subs. Like, there's nothing. I was like, great. And the thing, I thought it was okay, because when I looked it up on my drama list, it's a 2019 drama is what it says.
You would think.
So you would think, I thought, oh, it's just here, right? No, Vicky is dropping it as if it's currently airing.
Yeah, they do that with some of them.
Only 4 episodes. But apparently, what's weird to me is that Yuko apparently is also doing that on YouTube. So, like, it's kind of like it is currently airing, because that's where I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with this drama. But
maybe the pandemic affected.
Maybe.
Like, it's so weird. But so
or it's like they just got like, you know, like international release rights, so they decided to like do it like it's a show. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I was like, because I figured, okay, 2019, cool. No. So anyway, 3.5 episodes.
That's where you're wrong, fam.
Nonsensical. Well, the first 3 episodes I really enjoyed. The 4th episode sort of does a backtracking thing into the celestial neighborhood, and because the whole premise is that this guy who makes these enchanted umbrellas, he's an, you know, ancient and immortal dude.
Enchanted umbrellas. Why couldn't that have been around when we were doing our umbrella episode? Like, seriously. That would have been
technically
so
it was
cool.
We just didn't know about it.
Really, he'll use it as a shield. He'll use it. He'll throw it like a boomerang to catch people.
I'm more interested in knowing enchanted umbrellas.
It makes like a beautiful, like, lit up like dome that protects everybody underneath it and stuff. Like, very cool.
Oh, cool.
And so, like, he's been for 1,000 years waiting for his love to be reincarnated.
The
as you
do. Classic caver.
And then so this is the other thing that's neat about it, is that it's a Jangia, but it's set in like the Republic, like the Republican era, like it's in the 20s.
Ooh, that's fun.
So like she's all like pantsuits, and she's a reporter who, you know, has her cute little like, you know, flip out camera dealio. Like they have like it's very cool.
I'm sold.
Yeah, like it's.
Like,
I mean,
add to
remember
list.
the part where I said it's nonsense, because it is, but like,
well, sometimes you know,
listen, as long as it's fun nonsense.
Fun nonsense with cool outfits and enchanted umbrellas.
So she meets these immortals because she sees through their enchantments, and they're like, she saw us, but when she checks her camera later, they're not in the pictures because the camera was fooled by their enchantments, but she could see through the umbrella. And then later she finds him through magical means and like buys an enchanted umbrella and then uses it. And he's like, you used my umbrella? And she's like, well, I bought your umbrella. And he's like, yeah, but like you used my umbrella. Like, and she's like, yeah, I guess. And he's like, that's weird, because you're mortal and you shouldn't be able to use the immortal part of my umbrella. Anyway, they've totally just like started having chit chats. She bought this enchanted painting and she hopped into it and was like, oh wow, I'm in a painting. And he was like, how are you here? Because she's like, oh, you're here too. And he's like, yes, but I am immortal and I can do this. Why are you here? Like, and she's like,
so for anyone curious, if you have a VIP membership to iQIYI, they do have the entire thing subbed for VIP.
I do have. Okay. So I shall be watching
there you go.
There now.
So, well, I'm assuming it's subbed because their VIP stuff on iQIYI is usually
how many
subbed.
Episodes?
It's
like
split.
3-4.
It's split into 2 seasons on iQIYI with 12 episodes each. And only the first episode of season 2 is free for anyone to watch. So everything else is VIP.
But it's cute. It's very Monster of the Week. Like each episode has like a different, like, terrible thing that's happening. And, there's romance. I honestly think the immortal guy, his best friend, is like a sort of comedic character. I think he might have a love line with her grandma.
Oh,
which is kind of hilarious because, I mean,
the ultimate Noona romance.
Like it really doesn't. She's still young compared to him, but like, grandma has like dementia.
You're not
so
wrong.
She often thinks she's like a 16-year-old girl, and she's got it. And then he like tried to make her forget, not knowing that she had dementia, and then it like stuck his brain to her brain, and so I don't know. And he keeps like whining. He magicked himself out of a bathtub accidentally and wound up naked in like grandma's living room, and she's like, "Oh my goodness!" And he's like, "Oh my goodness!"
It's like, "Oh my goodness!"
He and grandma,
"Oh, I shouldn't look."
He and grandma just keep on having these moments together.
Too many meet cutes and
so I don't know if what's going on there, but it's that kind of a nonsensical show that like. But it's also like the one Monster of the Week story was very dark and like a little twisty. Like what seemed to be going on wasn't going on, and stuff happened with it. So there's some interesting bits to it that way too. But for people who are not into, Xena Warrior Princess, then
maybe not
style
for you.
Shenanigans, maybe not. If you want the more like intense, serious fantasy, then probably not for you. But it has that kind of, I don't know, goosebumps, sort of, a little bit creepy, a little bit fun, lots of pretty nonsense going on, and I enjoyed it.
Sold me.
Well, yeah.
So I am very much trying to get through my list of backlog dramas. It's not really going well when I keep on adding dramas too.
Amen, sister.
It's like I add 5, drop, like finish 1. But I finally finished DCU, aka Deep Crime Unit. It's a Japanese drama. It started airing at the beginning of this year. I might have talked about it in a past what we're watching episode, but essentially it's about a team that's part of the Coast Guard, I think. It's either the Coast Guard or Navy, or they're a joint team. I don't remember that detail, but they are like the specialized team that like focuses on like bigger cases involving the water. Like in the very beginning, I remember them they saying they like specially like developed it with like Navy SEALs and stuff. So it's like the higher up on like they're not just like going for water rescues. They're like solving murders and stuff, and like espionage and like murder. And that sort of thing. It stars Hiroshi Abe, I think is how you say the last name. I forgot to look it up, so I'm very sorry. I'm terrible with that. But also Ryusei Yokohama, who is now my favorite. And it follows kind of like a Western show would. Like, so if you like something like NCIS, you might like it. In the end, I didn't really like it as much as I thought I was going to. It was one of actually like one of my anticipated shows for this year, especially in like J-dramas, because you never get those. But like, it just, the plot was a little and it had some like trudgy parts. But if you like action, it will be a good drama, and lots of like diving, and like there's some like explosions and stuff, and there's like this like ongoing thing because Ryusei's character is tied to the main guys because he like lost his father, and he was like part of this explosion, and that guy saved him, and like there's this whole thing, and like because he's also like has flashbacks from that explosion on the boat and stuff. It's very like Western action drama, and it's like not like crime thriller. It's kind of more like, you know, like people doing a lot of like stuff that's like kind of more like I don't know, like what kind of crime, you know, like terroristic crime and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but like there's like the main like bad guy that like keeps on doing stuff, and they're all part of like people they meet up with, or like part of like other investigations of things that they're doing as part of that, and kind of like, you know, shows the entire story. it was fun though. Like I like enjoyed it for what it was. It was definitely not something that I wanted to binge all the time though. So like in that respect, it was like but like just, you know, having something to watch and that was in that like kind of realm, which is not like a normal realm in Asian dramas, which was fun. So I think if you like NCIS type shows, you'll probably like this enough to want to pick it up. So yeah.
Cool.
Godspeed when you're out in the seas.
Yeah. When you're it says wavy on rocky on the seas, as I'm sure it is for the people on this show. Yes. Not having to go out into the rocky seas. I've also been watching I've been watching many Japanese dramas this month.
Yeah, me too.
And I picked up, of course, it's currently airing because why wouldn't it be? The sweetest age gap romance you've ever seen in Fashioned Cupcake.
Are we all watching it?
Oh my god! I know we're all watching it. You know, Sky. Okay, Sky.
I'm trying to wait.
Okay.
I'm trying to wait.
It is a 5-episode mini show, but the episodes are all like half an hour.
Yeah, like
so 5 episodes.
It's only 5 episodes.
And they just follows. So
yeah, number 3 just finished. Which follows.
Soon.
So you don't have to long to wait. Which follows 2 coworkers. A 39-year-old Nozue, who's played by Takeda Kuhei, who's just sort of like in a rut and bored with life, and you know he doesn't really see his life going anywhere, and he has, you know, I know, found another gray hair. 39, single, you know, working at the same job. They keep trying to get him to get a promotion. He's like not really interested in that because like he doesn't want to do more work, you know. And meanwhile, his closest coworker is a 29-year-old named Tagawa, played by Kimura Tatsunari, who takes it upon himself to like make this guy's life more exciting. And the way he does it is because they witness some like teenage girls. I know the sentence starts out skeevy, but don't worry, it takes a turn. They witness some teenage girls like having fun together, like taking selfies and like, you know, eating cake, and you know, Nozue's like, man, like I wish like life could be as fun as it is for like teenage girls. And then Tagawa's like, well, I don't see why it can't be. Let's go do stuff that teenage girls like to do. So they start going to like dessert places and like cute lunches and getting like, you know, Instagram donuts and stuff. And
it's ridiculous.
And basically
it's ridiculous.
I'm like having a heart like, okay, it's like so unrelentingly pleasant to watch that like when you're watching it you just feel good about life because you're like, yes, I love these two, I love everything about their whole deal. But meanwhile, like it becomes very clear very quickly that Tagawa has a bit of a you know,
a bit
ulterior motive to doing this for his 10-year senior boss, in which that he's down bad and has been down bad for this guy for years and has just seen his opportunity to like basically
shoot his shot,
enchant his way into this man's heart, and he's gonna do it. And oh boy, is he gonna do it. And we are enjoying the ride, watching it happen. I literally love every second I spend watching this show. Every single second. I'm just like, yes.
I think it has like kind of like the tone of XX, where it's very like quiet, even though like they're doing very like, it's not like there's not like things going on like XX is. There's not like, you know, bad things or whatever, but it's like, feels the tone of the show is like you sitting in a cafe enjoying a drink, like and that makes the whole show really good. And then I love that the characters are older too, and it
I love that like the character of Nozue, he's even like sort of old for his age at the same time. Like he still uses like a flip phone. He doesn't understand technology. Anything. So it's like at one point he like, you know, Tagawa convinces him to like get like a modern cell phone, And so there's like a scene of him struggling to like take a picture of their dessert, but keeps accidentally putting it on video. And he's like, why does it keep taking a video? Like, I just want to take a... and like him trying to send text messages and not knowing how it works. I love him. I love them. I love them so much.
So good.
Just, I love it.
I started it the night before episode 3 came out, and it was like, la 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 la. And then like episode 2 ends, and then it's just like on a screen that's like, you can watch again tomorrow. And I was like, no.
Yeah. It is on Viki, and I think it's also on, is this one of the ones that's also on GoGo? Not sure. I can just check.
That was also, I sat down to watch episode 3 on my Roku, which is not like logged into my account because it's annoying. And it was like, no, you can't watch episode 3. No, you can't watch it. And I was like, that's really weird. And then when I came back to it an hour later, now all the episodes are locked on Viki. And it's like, oh no, you need a membership now. And I was like, shut up.
Okay, it's only on Viki. So it's the other currently airing Japanese.
Subscription Viki.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw everybody tweeting about it all the time, and they were like,
it really is worth it.
So good.
I am going to wait, and then I'm going to watch the whole thing.
You are
smart.
Wise.
Smart.
We weren't wise.
We were fools. Fools, I tell you. But yeah, A+ from old Natalia. Like, just... Listen, there's been like a series of like in the last month of like gay Japanese shows coming out on Viki, and each one of them has been pretty good so far. So who knows? Thanks. Happy Pride Month, everyone. You know. What about you, Sky? What else have you been watching?
So I watched, and I'm going to preface this. It was somewhere not easily found,
Okay.
but
coded language.
Props to the people that fan sub, like good for them. Like, so Favoritism of the God, also called Kamisama no Ekohiki. It's earlier this year, and loved it. It is set in high school, so that is an aspect. But so there is a god, it is fantasy, there's body switching, and it is gay. So like all of these things together.
Go on.
Check.
Oh, and a dog, Chihuahua. There's a Chihuahua in it too. Just
listen, I keep saying it, but stop selling when you've already sold, man. Like, you've made the sale. I'm in.
Essentially, there's this high school boy, and I think they're a little older high school. There's also in high school though, and all you see is him. He keeps going to the shrine every day, and so the god with long wig hair and his Chihuahua companion who talks. They keep watching this kid coming to the shrine to pray for luck, and he does it for 100 days. And the reason he did that, usually people do that to win the god's favor and to ask for a wish. He didn't really ask for the god's favor when he got his 100 days. He just was trying to get up the confidence to confess to his crush. Like, that's all. If I can do this, I can confess to my crush. So, and this of course all happens, beginning of first episode. Goes to confess to his crush. It's as awkward as you would think, and it doesn't go well. It doesn't go horrifically. Like, the crush is not mean or anything, but and it's okay. Like, it's fine. I'll be fine. Of course, he's hurt, but he turns around. He's saying, "I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." He's backing up into the street, and he truck-a-dooms right there.
No.
And the thing was, the god and his companion went to go watch just to be entertained because they wanted to see the kid confess, and they're like, "Oh."
This is the worst show ever.
So then,
what a twist.
So then essentially, like, they gave him another chance. Like, you did this stuff. It's not really great that you died. So would you like to go back or something? He goes, "I would like to go back as a girl so I can win his heart." Like he just really wants to be with his friend, like his best friend. So the god says, "Fine, I'll put you in a girl's body." So it was a girl that already existed in their school, all these things. So the question is like, where did the girl go? Well, right. So she does exist and all that. I don't want to get into
monkey's
all of it.
paw.
But
It's always a monkey's paw situation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so then there's the best friend's ex-girlfriend gets a crush on the new girl who, you know, the kid in the girl's body, girl gets a crush on him. All these things. It's actually very, very, very sweet. I can't get into all of it, but it's very, very well done. Cool. And it's not just about relationships. It's about lots of other stuff. The Chihuahua is adorable. The god's funny. Yeah. And it ends well. Like, it's one of those. So, I mean, nice. It's kind of a silly show, obviously, but I really, really recommend it. I hope that Vicky picks it up sometime because, I mean, it is new enough that, you know, in the next while, hopefully Vicky will pick it up. I would see that it would be squarely within what they would want to do. And then as far as all these people having crushes, they end up just becoming a friend group too. So like they all hang out together, even though like everyone kind of knows, well, I like her, well, I like him. And so he eventually tells, I'm in someone else's body. And so that's a funny conversation. And then it becomes, so essentially the girl is in a coma. So she wakes up in his body. So they become a friend group and it becomes a thing. And how do we switch back? Can we? And
well, I guess you're going to have to go pray to the gods for another 100 days.
Right.
Obviously.
So seems like the only possible solution to this situation.
But yeah, I really do recommend it. It is, I mean, it's silly and high schooly, but it was very well done. I wish I watched it just after we had our like recommendations for the LGBT shows.
Yeah. And you're like, dang
that we were going to do. I know, like, just a few days after I binged the whole thing, and I was like, dag nabbit, like this is the caliber that I would have definitely recommended
perfect for this.
So, yes, Favoritism of the Gods, really good. Watch it.
I'll stick with Japanese. I binged this week Tokyo Noodle Factory, which is nonsense, but fun nonsense. So it's kind of like almost like a nonsense noodle version of like 3-star bar. So like, again, with like, we're kind of looking into like individual lives. There's only like 5, 6 episodes. They're pretty short. It's about these people who work at a cheap, fast noodle house, and it's owned by like a hotel chain. And their manager has been on maternity leave for like 2 months, and they're like, man, when's she coming back? I'm like, it's been 2 months, give her some time, like chill out. But they get sent like the hotel chain sends this guy to them who is very hospitality focused. He's a hotel guy and he's very, very hospitality focused. So they're like you get in, you eat, you get out kind of place. Like just go, 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 go. And he's suddenly like walking around like, can I get you another glass of water? Can I, and you're like, sir, this is a Wendy's. Like, can you just stop? Right? Like, it's very, like, they're just like, and the poor, like, assistant manager is just like, you're killing me, Smalls. Like, it's just, like, seriously, stop it. And he yells at him at one point. He's like, this is not what people are here for. And he's like, but I think we can do better. And, starts offering, like, fancy udon.
Like, yes, we can do better. Do we want to do better?
Like,
That's
do we
the
need
real
to,
question.
Like, people come here because they can get in, eat something decent that tastes good. Like, we make good noodles here, and then leave and get back to work. Like, that's what we're here for. And he's like, yeah, but, and he's like, ugh. And then there's like, stuff like each of the employees, there's like 5 employees, and like they each have sort of a story that happens in one of the episodes kind of focuses on them, like the noodle lady who's like really strong and everything, and she's got a son who's kind of like embarrassed by her over the top personality. So like one of the episodes kind of focuses on that. And you know, there's the girl who works the checkout has a scuzzy ex-boyfriend who always needs money, and she feels like she should still help him out, and they're like, he's not your boyfriend anymore, you don't have to give him money, like just
girl, don't help this man, don't help this man, girl,
and
not worth it ever.
So this new like hospitality manager guy basically, like, through his unusual personality, kind of like inserts himself into all of their stories and all of their lives and stuff. And it's cute. It's cute and quick and silly. There's a lovely little dance number at the beginning of everyone where they do a little little dance.
I wonder if there's like
so
a specific choreographer, like that's what they do for all the shows. Like, you're gonna make all these cast members.
Well, and the one, oh shoot, the guy who plays the manager, he's a very pretty boy, and he's from the Exile tribe. He's from one of the units in the Exile tribe. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's like a karaoke scene at one point where he gets to sing because, of course, why would you have him there?
Why not do karaoke, right?
Yeah. So it's cute. It's cute. It's cute.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep on theme, and it's another jdrama.
Say it as you so. Say it as you so.
It's called Kristen Love. I also have seen it around as We Are Not Ourselves. Also, a lot of people are referring to the Japanese name. I can't pronounce it. I'll put it on though. I don't want to deal with it. Every single time I have to speak Japanese out loud, I literally have a panic attack. So I just don't want to do it.
I don't need to expose myself this way. Don't worry about it.
It stars Minami Hamabe, who is this girl who, oh my god, how do I describe it? It also stars Surprise You, or you say Yokohama, because that's all I watched. It is a crazy whatever makjang equivalent in Japanese is. I mean, so it's about a dessert confectionery shop, and like the ones that are the family been in the year, hundreds of years that produce the like top quality ones that go to big people, that type of shop. Mm-hmm. So when she was younger, she and her mom went to go live at the place where, because her mom was going to work in the shop as one of the dessert people. And she was super young. She was like very young, like maybe 5. And while there, the son of the family who would be taking over the place is murdered, and his mom is accused of it by their son, who is also very young, and had found his dad stabbed. And during the whole trying to figure out if she really did it, the mom dies, and so this girl then spends the rest of her life being so
dramatic.
I'm going to take over this place. I am specifically going after that kid, Tsubaki. So she finally makes her way back in to the place, and she nobody knows it's her. And then she ends up getting engaged to him. So then she can try to.
Of course.
It's the wildest ride ever. It was so much fun. I loved every second of it. There's murder, there's fires, there's a truck of doom, aka Truckoon. There's the evil mother-in-law who is incredible evil the entire time. You're like, oh my gosh, am I watching a horror film? There's really nice looking sweets. There's like birth secrets. There.
This sounds like the show to watch like when you're drinking wine or something.
I watched it in like 2 days and I was like, what is going on with this show? It was so good. I had it on my list, not because I had like looked into the synopsis, but way back when Drama Fever had died, right before Drama Fever had died, they added like 2 jdramas. And one of them I didn't get around to, and it's been like my lingering, I've never watched this drama, I should watch it. This drama isn't that drama. But the poster, for some reason, reminded me of that Drama Fever J-drama. Like every single time I saw it, like I think it's 2020 was when it aired. Yes. And it was very popular in Japan when it did. But like I think last year it kind of like hit international spaces, and I kept seeing it, multiple people talking about it, multiple people having it, the poster and like retweeting the poster. And so like it made me, I was interested in it, and because I was watching everything from one actor, I just picked it up, and it's so good. So if you can get your hands on it, please watch it, especially if you like just out. Every episode is like, what's going on? What's going to happen next?
It's one of those shows that, like, if you binge it, so you binged it, once you're done, it, like, skews your perception of reality to where it's, like...
a little bit.
It's really hard going into, like, really nice dramas after this, but I have been watching Why Her, so it's kind of at the level, so it kind of works out, you know?
Yeah. So to take it to a new country...
Finally.
I started this Thai show. I'm on another podcast. It's a BL podcast, and we literally just spent an hour talking about this show. So it's airing on WeTV. There's 2 episodes out so far, but they're split into 2, so it feels like there's 4 episodes out. And it's the remake of the miniseries Love Mechanics. And do you like trash male leads? Because if you do, this show is for you. So it follows this poor kicked puppy of a kid, college student, whose name is Mark, and he's in love with an engineering student called Bar. Okay. So he just wants to confess his love, but Bar, not interested, has a boyfriend, whatever. And Bar also has a best friend named V, who just fucking hates Mark, hates him, and is like, you gotta stay away from my friend, like you're creeping on my friend. He's like, listen, I wasn't creeping on your friend, I was literally just like saying I liked him, but like relax. So after getting roundly rejected and just like chewed out by V, roundly rejected by Bar, chewed out by V, Mark goes and just gets piss drunk, just the drunkest you've ever seen. Meanwhile, getting piss drunk himself at the same bar. Who is it but V? Who then is like, okay, let me just take your messy ass home, and like, bada bada bing, you know, bada bing bada boom, things happen between them, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. No, not whatever, because meanwhile, V has a long-term girlfriend who's Mark's next door neighbor. But meanwhile, V's all like, oh, like, do I like him now? Like, you're trash, okay? This all happens in, like, the first 10 minutes. Like, yeah. So this was based on, like, a couple years ago, right before the pandemic. There was, like, a series. It was, like, a series of, like, little mini-series called EN of Love about gay engineering students. Surprise, surprise. It's a Thai show about gay engineering students. Didn't see that one coming. Shocker. Just shock. And so the main couple who played in this one, which was Love Mechanics, became so popular that they were like, we can make money off of these kids. So then they were like, we're gonna make a full-length series, but like just about their story, which is fine because they're great actors, but like their story's so awful that it's just but I'm in it now. Like I can't escape. I'm like, okay.
It has such good chemistry. Like the two of them together. The original version wasn't just a bad story. It was poorly put together. So there was like times you were like, is it been 3 days or 3 months? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Like, it was so messy.
The quality of this version is much higher. And I will say, compared to the original, V's character, little less trashy, because in the original,
trashy.
This man was a psychopath. He was literally a psychopath who was just like fucking with this poor kid.
You are my booty call, and then I'm going back over next door to my girlfriend.
Literally next door, so you can listen to me and my girlfriend have a good time. And you're just like, yeah. So anyway, in this one, but anyway, I'm like stuck in it now. Like, I don't even know why I clicked play, because I was like, I didn't even like I didn't even like Love Mechanics.
You have so many other currently airing shows that
I have a problem. Okay, I have a problem. But anyway, I'm watching it, and it's for what it is, it's pretty good. But if you see me tweeting pictures of trash cans, you know why. He knows what he did. He knows what he did. But yeah, that's on WeTV if you're interested in watching. It's actually like it's a well done show, and the acting's really good. It's just the male lead that you're supposed to like want to get like, you're just like, on one hand you have, you know, War playing Mark, and he's just like the sweetest little bean who's just like, you're like, oh, I just want to like give you a hug and be like, we'll find you a new boyfriend. Like, show us on the doll where this evil man like hurt you. Like, we need to get you away from him. But then you've got like Yin just killing it, playing just this conflicted trash heap, and you're just like, oh, okay, fine. But I will say this: it's most of the same cast that was in the original, except for the two guys who are playing Bar and Tosakin, who were like the guy that Mark's character's in love with and his boyfriend. And I think that was a good choice, because that was my main problem with the original, was that, no offense to these actors, they were fine. Okay. They were fine. But the characters were supposed to be like, just these super hot, like everyone's like, ooh, everyone wants to like get with these dudes. Like, they're like the hottest guys on camp. And just, no. Just absolutely not. Just like, one of them looked like every like 90-pound nerd I dated in high school. Like, no, like, fine. He was fine looking. Just, you know, having girls falling at your feet, fine looking.
No,
he looks like he had a really good personality, if you know what I mean. Like, it's fine. But anyway, the new actors are fine. They fit, and everyone else is the same. Even like the girl playing the girlfriend is like the same actress too, which I was surprised at. So I was like, oh, okay, everyone must enjoy this each other to return to this tale. So yeah, that's on WeTV. It be what it be. It be what it be. It be what it be. Why am I doing this to myself? Sky, what's another one you're watching?
So I actually know that Natalia watched this as well. Shooting Stars. And I've talked about it before too.
My heart.
So I always say this, but I really think it has similar vibes to her private life. So if you haven't started Shooting Stars yet, and if her private life level of like workplace stuff and kind of silly but cute, there you be. Like, that's what you're getting with Shooting Stars.
It's a really fun show.
Yeah. It's so by the last 2 episodes are very height of a conflict, kind of wrap it up with a pretty little bow. Everyone's happy.
You know, it's what you want out of a rom-com, essentially.
Yeah,
it's very delivered.
So like they landed the landing, stuck the landing, all those things. But I do think it's fun. Entertainment industry, like actor entertainment industry stuff. I'm not saying it's a true look into the industry or anything, but I still think it was fun that the characters were managers and talent, but also seeing what the managers kind of do have to do as far as, I mean, I've watched actual, like, The Manager, like the show, the reality show. So, I mean, I know that some of this is legit, like all the stuff driving the people around and always having to be there and protect them and stuff. But everyone acting in it, super cute. The 2 leads are probably the most campy at times, but cute campy. They're just very silly. They'll make very silly faces. They're supposed to be over the top sometimes, so it works. especially him. He's a goofy, very popular actor character, so he's gonna act goofy. Like, I really recommend it.
Yep. It's
for
fun.
people who dig that type of thing. It is definitely probably not everyone. I'm sure some people will be like, I am bored out of my mind.
Not
Probably if you're not there for just like the relationship silly, yeah, you're not gonna dig it. So.
And that's like 90% of the show. It's just like interpersonal dynamics. So like if that's not your thing, it's not like a high tension show by any stretch of the imagination.
Well,
like
there is
some though. There is some.
There was a subplot for a handful of episodes. Kind of, you wonder if it's a stalking situation, but it is like anti-fans and threats and like who's doing this and it's within the company. So like it was pretty heightened because like that is a concern when you figure out that like someone is threatening awful stuff and they're like working next to you, like yeah. So then that did end up. So this goofy character has moments of, I mean, he can't trust anyone around him all of a sudden, and those are the only people that are around him when you're super popular. So like that does make you think about. Yeah. It makes me, I'm the type of person that then I think about the reality of what actors and people do have to live through and the things that how that could be a real dynamic for people. Yeah. So it makes me, that my empathy kicks in as far as for real people what that could mean. But yeah, overall, silly show. And then also a birth secret thing, you know, as classic, you do.
Of course. Listen, you gotta slide that.
You gotta have what you gotta
you know.
But my favorite part of the show, the bromance between the actor and the lawyer.
It's literally the best.
You
so
know,
it's
when you have
CN Blue, the guy from CN
Junction.
Blue. Yeah. Him and like their bromance that, oh my god, it's too good.
So whenever you take a love triangle, but then two parts of the love triangle become bromance, like I love that. In that type of show. So that's what it becomes. And you can tell the lawyer character is like, I don't want to like him as a friend, but it's happening. He's
literally I'm befriending this man against my will. Like
he's like, I can't resist him. No, like I'm so serious, and this guy's a goober, but oh my gosh, like he's fun to be around. What am I gonna do? It's really funny. But anytime they would interact, it was always like, oh, I'm smiling now. You guys are funny. Like, that's funny.
I started watching Thai show Mama GoGo. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Magic Mike, the Thai show.
Yeah, only Magic Mike, like more like if you made a spoof version of Magic Mike.
Well, that's the best kind.
Yeah, like it is ridiculous. The basic premise is that the main character is a girl named Annie, a woman named Annie, who was one half of the super popular girl group Annie and Tina 20 years ago. And Annie and Tina were both terrible human beings who hated each other's guts. But people loved them, so they stayed together until Annie puked on stage, and rumors started flying that she puked on stage because she was pregnant. She was probably drunk, but it turns out she was also pregnant. So
the rumors were not so much rumors because they were true.
She makes a whole big, and it was with one of her backup dancers, and they made it into this whole big like pronunciation of like our undying love, and you know, please pray for us as we go forward in our new life. And like Tina's thinking, this is my shot, because Tina's always been kind of the background girl because Annie had the voice. And so she's like, this is my shot. But Annie said at this press conference goes, and Tina wouldn't feel right going on. She's already told me that she's decided to quit the industry because she wouldn't feel right. Like she basically tanked Tina. Like they hate each other's guts. Like it just everything about, they just hate each other. So fast forward 20 years and Annie's life is a mess. Her backup dancer boyfriend has never become anything in his life. She's had like 3 failed businesses. She's got a teenage daughter who is trying to go to college, but they don't have money for that. So she took out loans with loan sharks. And like, it just, her life is terrible now. So she goes to Tina and is like, Tina has crap tons of money. Tina made money for herself. She made something of herself. So, and she's like, no.
Deserved.
Like,
as she should, like
deserved.
Yeah.
Deserved.
You know, and then it turns out her uncle, who I don't think was actually her uncle, he was the next door neighbor or something, but like he never had any kids, so he thought of her as his. He had a male host bar called Papa GoGo. He has died and left it to her. So she's like, great, I can sell it and pay off my debts. And, you know, and then she winds up in a male, like, strip club for, you know, follows her sister, thinks her sister got kidnapped.
Machinations.
Yeah,
like, she finds herself
winds up there
the
and she's like, this is disgusting, this is terrible. And then the dancers come out and she and the girls are all like, hey, this is okay.
However.
And then she's like, she sees all these women throwing money at these men and sticking money in their shorts. And she's like, wait, like, who keeps that money? And they go, well, it depends on the bar and stuff, but like the owner keeps most of it. And she was like, hey, I own one of these clubs now. You mean that money could be, okay. So now she's like, instead of
time to go into sex work, friend.
Yeah. She's putting up posters and having the most absolutely ridiculous, like, you know, the tryouts for this. Every single young under 30 puppy in the GMMTV stable is playing
shirtless, gyrating, shirtlessly gyrating across the stage as they go. Yeah.
Earth is like Big Earth is the main attraction, who has left because this club is falling apart, and he's gone over to the competition. I'm pretty sure they're also going to have a love line between him and her younger sister or something. So we'll see where that goes. But he's an absolute. It's wild to watch because he's a trash person. Like, he is just so full of himself. He's such.
And he usually plays such nice people too. That's so funny.
Like, and he's just like, I am the face, I am the body, I have the moves, and you're like, okay. 2 out of 3 was one thing, but like none of them can dance. In this,
that's part of the fun. That's part of the
guys
fun.
that can move are not very attractive, and the guys who are attractive cannot move. So
what are you saying about my boy Drake? What are you trying to tell me? Okay. What are you trying to tell me about my boy Drake? What's going on here?
I'm trying to think if he's actually. Yes, I think he was at one of the tryouts, and it was bad. But it was intentionally bad.
Intentionally bad.
Yeah. And then Joss shows up, and I mean, Joss is beautiful and everything. He starts doing this like dance number, and they cut it so that you're supposed to believe it's good, but like it's just as bad as everybody who's been up there before. But like now it's like mind blowing, and you're like,
listen, he's trying. They're trying their best.
Trying.
They're trying.
So
and this is not Joss's first time playing a male stripper dancer, so like I feel like he should probably have a few more skills than other people. Maybe this will be his second go around at this role.
Typically GMMTV isn't that usually more on the fluffy side of things?
Yeah. So technically, this is a GMM 25.
Oh,
so
that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
They are airing it like it's a 25, but it's on the GMM TV channel on YouTube.
So I just find it interesting. So the stable of actors usually are doing like these super fluffy, like I just find that fascinating that then they'll use these people that aren't used to doing those types of roles. So hopefully the ones that want to branch out get, at least they get to do that.
And this is vibe-wise, it is much more of a GMM TV thing. So like it doesn't have that like, as much as the story sounds kind of dark, it's all comedic and nonsense, right? Like it's all silly. So there's a lot of like every episode ends with an Annie and Tina like dance song number, and like, you know, it's the same actresses playing, you know, but they're like playing like they're 20, but they're like 40-year-old actresses, and they're, you know,
love it.
Ponytails and stuff. Is so the best actor on the show, I would say, is Nat, who is a 40-year-old, very attractive man who I think is supposed to be, he used to be Annie and Tina's like choreographer or something. So Annie's like brought him in to like mentor the guys and like teach them how to do.
You to choreograph some strip shows.
And he keeps going like, me, I'm right here. Like, I am hot and I can dance. And she's like, baby, keep your shirt on. And you're like, can we not be ageist? Because he is.
And also, like, all of us sitting here, like, no, let the man speak.
We would love to see it.
I would like to see the silver fox do his
You thing. Shut up. I'm here for this.
Listen, know your audience, GMMTV. Come on now.
And I would very much love to watch if it was like, if that was the romance line too, if it was the two of them running this club together and follow, you know. But it's not it's listed as being a Nuno romance with Lee Bennett, my darling Lee is playing a gangster, which is
hilarious to me.
Over the top,
angel
like,
face,
shirts, like gangster, like it's, and like he's a gangster who was raised by like a you know, in a like by nuns or something who were like
tells it all,
karate nuns or something. I don't
karate
know.
Nuns.
It's like, so he like it terrible, ridiculous scenes.
You know what I think this show truly failed us on is that Lee is not one of the dancers, and
this is what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
It's wild. They're all pods in it, and Drake is in it, and Guy is in it. My guy, I love him so much. He has the best smile, and he always gets cast as like bad guys and gangsters. No, he is like this himbo single dad who just needs a job, and he is like a workout dude. So he's like up there doing like Jane Fonda, and they're like, "What is this?" And Nat's like, "I don't, you know what? Like, it'll work with the mom."
No, seriously, like, listen, if I found myself in a male strip club and they were doing a Jane Fonda where I'd be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I have no problem with this.
Yeah. So I mean, he's
as long as they're leg warmers,
crop top like football, you know, with a headband and doing his. I was like, yep, okay, all of it. It's hilarious. It's absolute utter nonsense, but it is.
No, I'm looking at the cast. It's literally every, like, if you're between the ages of 22 and 30 and you work at GMMTV, guess what? You're on stage, my guy.
Gangster or you're shirtless, and this is.
Or both. Who knows?
Or both. Judge. I mean,
they might cross.
Maybe that'd be Lee's thing is that he, you know, decides to give up a life of crime to be a stripper. Like, I don't know. We'll see where we go.
All right, so do we want to do another round, or do we want to just do like each of us individually just wrap up?
To sum up, I think we can sum up because it's, you know, we're at an hour and a half. Sure. So
okay. So I'm obviously watching and have watched a bunch of other stuff too. Just to finish up my what is a 4, because it's not a trilogy, it's a 4-piece
quadrology.
A story to read when you first fall in love is a jdrama. It's on Viki. I will say, just a fair warning, there is some weirdness. There's a teacher-student kind of relationship in it, but it's really kind of not in a way because the main lead is completely clueless to everything. She doesn't know that a pink hair Ryusei is in love with her. It was cute though. There's like some actually like really great moments with like the teaching and just being, you know, knowing your worth and that sort of thing. I also did watch Not Me Thai show. It's on YouTube. We're probably going to talk about that in a spoiler. At least I know, like, at least Natalia. Yeah, so we need to spoiler that.
We're going to do special.
And I did finish Remember 15, also a Thai show. And if you don't like slashers, you will not like that. It is a true slasher. What else have I been watching? I've been chipping away at Grid.
How are you liking it?
I like it. I watch one. Like, I've been doing this thing where I just at least watch one of everything. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm trying to really get through the stuff. It's beautiful now. I'm very behind on that, but I have plans. So that's in the future. I'm also behind on KinnPorsche, but we have plans in the future. The one drama that I just recommended to Natalia, Link, Eat, Kill, or Eat, Love, Kill.
I'm in it to win it with this drama. It's sick as hell. I'm down bad with this drama.
Crazy, and I love it.
Fucking wild.
I mean, like, if you like things like Bring It On Ghost or
Suspicious Partners, it has that vibe to it.
Well, I think the writer is Suspicious Partner too. So
we'll see. That would make sense then.
Yeah. The leads are great. The family, the grandmother's my absolute favorite. Things happen.
There's one scene in the first episode where they've got our sweet boy Yeo Jin-gu doing basically like an Azuma thirst trap as he like does construction, and all like the old ladies in the neighborhood are just like, yeah, roll that sleeve up. Like it's got everything.
There's murder. There's
so good.
There's like 40 other mysteries just in this one little block. Something happened in the fourth episode that I'm just like hoping it's like the continuous like theme, and if it is, it will solidify it's like a really great show. It's Disney Plus. I'm sorry, people.
Yeah. It be what it be.
My Liberation Notes, I really need to like catch up on that, but I actually have plans probably very soon. No Regrets in Life is a Taiwanese show. It's airing right now on Netflix. It's only got one episode up. It's like about two people who were like really in love in college, and then something happens, and so it's like it shows the past when they're in college, and now like after I don't know how many years they're like older, and they end up fighting with each other because they went to a reunion. They end up fighting with each other, and it gets filmed by everyone in the area, and they become like viral like about this fight. So there's only one episode out. It's airing weekly on Netflix. Rose Mansion, I am chipping away at that as well. I don't know if I like it or not, but we'll see. I think I kind of.
And what country is that?
Oh, Korea. Sorry,
Korea. No, I was just curious.
It's a horror mystery thing about a woman who's going to look for her missing sister at this apartment complex, and there are things that are happening in this apartment complex. I picked up Someday or One Day, the Taiwanese drama. I wasn't going to pick that up right now, but I did. And
you did. Listen,
I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday, and now I'm hooked. So here we go. And then finally, I mentioned it briefly, but Why Her? I'm watching that, and I'm really digging that. I wasn't supposed to pick up that as well, but I did, and I really like it. And there's still 2 more dramas that are coming out this month that I want to check out. So that's also my like big problem. So that's what I'm trying to like get through, like the things that I have on hold or like I'm slowly going through. But
it's so funny how we try to resist these currently airing dramas, but then like when it really hits,
and then I kind of hoped that Link was going to be too silly for me, or like the silliness wasn't in the right spots, but it's hitting.
It's so well done.
I can't. It's so much fun. Like
literally, I was in the middle of like downloading it to watch, and as I was doing so, Jessie texts me and she goes, "Natalia, Link is a Natalia drama. You're gonna watch it." I was like, okay, listen, I'm literally in the process of making that happen. And then I watched the first episode and I was like, oh fuck yes.
And it literally just keeps on going. It literally just keeps on going. And the grandma's the what's her name? I don't want to pull it, but she's the actress. She was like in Search WWW. She was in 12 Nights.
Yeah, her name is Ye So Jung.
Yeah.
Love her.
So good in this. Like she
can do anything. Like
she can. She is she's randomly senile. It's like the best thing in the entire world.
For lying purposes. Like for getting out of trouble purposes.
She's so good. And she's like, you know, like very like accepting of the main female lead. I will say the mom, I don't like the mom. There's some parts that I'm okay with it, but like for the majority of the mom sucks. But like everything else about it, I'm just like, I'm here. There's a murder mystery.
What I sort of loved about it was like, it did what like suspicious, like you can tell now that I think about it, it's pretty obvious because I was literally telling my husband how similar it was to Suspicious Partners in one way, in which case like you're led along a path of a show that you think you're watching up until like the last 5 minutes of the first episode, and all of a sudden it's like, kidding.
Yeah,
this is what you're actually watching. It's that vibe again, and I'm here for it.
So yeah, that's all mine.
So okay, for mine, the list is extensive. We'll just bring you through it. On Aichi, I'm watching Checkout. I don't know why. I am. It's fine. It's like, it's fine. It's one of those shows where I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. You got two hot dudes kissing. I get why people are into it. It's fine. I'm almost done. I have one episode left of Close Friends Season 2, getting my own fluke on. Very cute show. I'm, of course, still watching It's Beautiful Now every weekend, except that I'm going to have like 6 episodes when I get back to watch, so that's exciting. I've also started KeixYaku, which is like a Japanese crime boss bromance drama.
How is it?
I'm really liking it. Like, it's fun. It's fun, and like, but it's not like silly. Like it's a lot.
Isn't that the guy from Man Against the World of BL?
One second, let me double.
I think it is, because I think I had looked into it.
No, but he looks very. He looks. Oh wait, I was looking at the wrong dude. Excuse me. No, different guy, but he does look very similar. He does look very similar, so I will give that to you. But no,
sorry.
It's a lot more crime heavy than I thought it was going to be. From like, listen, I saw a lot of fan edits on TikTok that were leading me to believe that this was
tricky,
a bit of a different vibe. Like, but no, I'm really enjoying tricksters. It. Of course, I'm keeping up with KinnPorsche because like, I'm too far gone now. We're in the end game now, son.
Obviously going to do something.
Obviously, that'll come back. I've been watching Kiss Sixth Sense and loving it. Adults with adult relationships, doing adult things and being delightful. Chef's
awesome.
Kiss. Love it. So I big fan. I've been watching a Taiwanese drama called Plus and Minus. It's on Viki and also on GoGo, I think. It's very cute. I've been watching Yumi Cells Season 2. Liking it more than I did Season 1.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know, like Jin Young's bringing a sort of level, because like in Season 1, like yeah, it was fine, but like the guy was such a loser in so many ways that it's like he was fine, like. But it's just, they just always seemed wrong. And then it's like in Season 2, it's like, yeah, they were. And look. Look at what you get.
And that's coming from someone, because you were down bad for that first season.
Yeah, so, like, I really liked Season 1. I was like, because like, you know, you like them to end up together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I was just like, but no, now I'm just like, okay. And like the humor with the cells is still exactly as like fun and silly. Like there's this one scene where this is the tiniest of spoilers. It's not even like it's a romance drama. You know what's gonna happen, where it's like they have their first kiss. And then it goes into like her cells, and it's her tongue cell, and like there's a knock on the door, and it opens the door, and it's his, and he's like, "Hello, I've been waiting to meet you." It's like the two tongue cells, and you're like, "No, like, stop." So it's like that sort of just nonsense. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also watching another Japanese drama called Senpai Denjite Koidewa, or Senpai, Is This Love? Or Could This Be Love? I don't. The translations. It's one episode so far, and I'm really liking it. It's about like a very awkward computer CG modeler who goes to work for like as like the apprentice to like another CG modeler that he's but he's like so awkward and like stressed out because he's like loves this guy that like the guy thinks that he hates him because like he'll like, you know, be like put like a friendly like pat him on the back and be like, please don't touch me. The guy's like, oh sorry, but really he's just like inside he's like, oh my god, I can't believe he touched me. Oh, this is the greatest moment of my life. Like, you know, but like anyway, it's very cute. And finally I started. I don't know why I did, guys. Please stop me from this. I started. It's on GoGo. It's a Thai show called Unforgotten Night. Oh, it's so stupid. Which involves like this mafioso who's really into BDSM. We're told, okay, but like no man can like satisfy his nasty BDSM urges. And then like there's this other dude who's like heartbroken because the guy he loved is like with a new guy now, and then like they meet at a bar, and then they like get together and they have like a kinky, I say with air quotes because that was some of the worst sex scene I've ever seen. I just need to warn everyone. But like he's like, oh, like finally like someone who can like keep up with my like lascivious needs. But I do have to give it props in one way, in that entire sex scene. It was the most consent forward sex scene I've ever seen on a Thai television show in my life. He kept being like, you're okay with this, like you're not, you know, I know you had a couple drinks, are you drunk? And he's like, no, like I'm totally here. He's like, I'm gonna ask again. You want this to happen? And the guy's like, yeah. Like, so I was like, okay, like I'll give it that. But then it was just comical. Just, I'm sorry, sure. That actor has never held a whip in his life. It shows, and you're just like, okay, like,
all right,
okay, whatever. Listen, I'll probably keep watching it because I can't help myself, and I don't sleep very much, so I have to do something to fill all that time. So. Yeah, that's basically what I'm keeping up with these days.
Weren't you watching one that was like it was a BL and it had something to do with kiss in the title?
Oh yeah. Mr. Unlucky has no choice but to kiss. I finished it. Great.
Because I was curious.
Wow, yes. Loved it. It's just 6 episodes. Short, cute. It follows a man who's incredibly a college student who's like super unlucky all the time, and then this other college student who's super lucky all the time, like known for his good luck, like falls in love with him, and like so he agrees to date him because his bad luck gets canceled out whenever they're together. So he's like, but then he slowly starts to feel guilty about like using this guy simply to like not have bad shit happen to him all the time. And like, he's a really nice guy and he's starting to like him, but he feels bad about lying. Like, they're so cute. They're so cute. No, it's really good. There's probably more that I like finished watching throughout the month that I've since.
So those were all your current. Huh?
Those were all my currently watching. That's what I'm. Everything I've mentioned today is what I physically am still watching.
The title of this one is more like what you guys are currently watching.
Yes, what I have. Like,
what are we not watching? That's what it should be called.
Yeah. Like the problem.
No, I know I'm gonna add more to. I can't.
Yeah. Also, like, listen. So literally tomorrow, the day after we record this, I'm headed on an 18-hour train trip, and I've got a bunch of new shows to add for next month. So
just watch out.
Who knows what I'll be talking about? No, see, the problem with that is that I won't even make it to next month's episode, because by the time I get to the end of next month, we'll have a whole new list of currently airing shit that I
we'll have like
myself.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Sky? Anything else you're watching before we sign off?
So I was not as heavy on watching as you guys were this time, but so just a callback, I did watch a handful of LGBTQ shorts on GoGo and that was for our episodes. We did an LGBTQ like recommendation type episode, like, and then we also did a Noonas 101 on BL. So we talked. So, but there really weren't any standouts from what I watched. A lot of them, there's a lot of mediocre-ish stuff there. Like there was one called For Vampires.
Oh, Jesus.
It existed. It exists.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like a 5 to 10 minute investment though. So like, can I really be upset? I truly cannot. Like, it's whatever. So I mean, usually if you take the span of like a 2-hour movie, you can watch a lot of shorts in that time. Most of them are not necessarily mind-blowing, but hey, they existed. And really, aside from what we've already talked about, and then KinnPorsche, I have picked up. I think I tried to play the other day and then I got distracted. But real life has been busy for me the past couple weeks. So,
I am still watching the kdrama, The Bachelors, a few episodes here and there, kind of thing. I really like it. It's just it is still what it is. It's like a slice of life family drama. I'm almost done Master of My Own. Also, really enjoying that one. It's just another kdrama rom-com that actually doesn't appear to have filler episodes. Like the story goes the whole way through. Yeah,
miracles can happen. What's going on here?
So, enjoying that. And then I also started 2 completed K-dramas. One is sort of when I'm up at the trailer, I can download the episodes on Netflix and watch it. It's Dear My Friends, which I've always heard so many good things
I started
about.
the first episode of that
for
reasons, and then we didn't do those reasons.
Oh,
so
yes.
We will in the future, though.
It's old people. Like, it's a bunch of old people who are friends with each other, and I'm only a couple episodes in right now, but I quite like it. It's very interesting. At the moment, like, I like it, but only 2 episodes in, I'm like, I'm not sure I see why this is at the top of it. Like, everybody who loves this, it's the greatest drama ever, and they've never seen anything like it. And and I'm like, okay, I mean, it's good, but
so you wonder what ground it covers.
So, I see, Kwang Su's in it, and I'm quite enjoying him. He just loves his mom. He just loves his mom so much, and he's such a sweet little. He's very yelly as he can be, but like, because he loves his mom. So
I must yell. I love my mom.
Passionate about how much he loves his mom.
Like in the first episode, at the very beginning, her husband dies, and everyone's like, she's such a princess. Like, she can't take care of herself. And his siblings are sitting at the funeral basically saying, like, it would have been better if mom had gone first. And he just is like, I will fight you. Like, that is my mom.
You should.
Like,
that's like a rude fucking thing to say.
Maybe you should have gone first. Whatever.
Like, he's like, you want somebody to go first? Like, I'll send some people first. Like, he's just sweet and wild, but like cute. So and there's a bit of a mystery there because her husband died in his sleep, but he was locked in a cupboard. And we're not sure why. Like, did she lock him in a cupboard and starve him to? Like, there's rumors going around, and there's a mystery about why he was sleeping in cupboards. So we'll see what happens. I don't know, but it's interesting, and I am enjoying it. So, I mean, Kim Young-ok, like, pulled the lady's hair out at one point, and then later is like, hey honey, I pulled her hair out for you. Like, like there's like nonsense, but it's good. And then I also started another one that like people just love, so I finally got around to it. Something About 1%. So
I've seen that.
Which
I didn't love it, so sorry.
I will say I am not surprised, Jessie.
Well, I think I have like I'm not going to go into it because it's like kind of spoilers or whatever, but like there's some things I really didn't like about that show.
It's very
what the genre is.
It's very 2016 rom-com.
Yeah.
And I sort of when I first started, I was like in the first episode, and I'm thinking, I don't really see it. Why? But now that I'm in episode like 8, I'm like, okay, I kind of see it. It's easy to keep going with it. His suits are the loudest thing you've ever seen. Like this box
I love him. He's nice to look at, so it was like a nice to look at show.
Listen, the eye candy will get you
literally,
going. We'll keep
that's why
I
ended it up, because there was like a period in time where it was like, okay, now just all his stuff.
Right. Yeah. So he's watchable, very watchable. His suits are something else,
also watchable,
delightful, and it's a 2016 rom-com. I don't know what else to tell you about it.
If you know,
I mean, I'm on episode 8, so like it's not like I'm not,
it is very much beloved by everyone. I will say that.
So, and I mean, I can say that I kind of see it, but like, I don't know, maybe something will change in the next 8 episodes, but like, I don't see it going to like my top of my list or my like rewatch this every year kind of list. But but I'm on episode 8 and I'm watching it. It's so then I think that's it for me. Yeah.
So thank you for listening to this episode of what we're watching. We'll be back next month with the same vibes. We do it every month. Everyone listen. If we went a month without it, I'm sure we'd hear.
I'm sure we could go for like an hour longer on this episode.
Yeah, absolutely, we could. But like,
I mean, we don't really want to.
That would be insane. And also, like, if we went a month without doing it, like, we'd hear from y'all.
Yeah.
Like, y'all would be like, hey, what are you guys watching? I'd be like, okay, fine. Anyway, if you're listening to this the day that it comes out, there will be a live stream about what's coming up in July. So go check that out on the YouTube channel, which is of course youtube.com/certified Noonas. If you want to reach us on all of our socials, we're pretty much on all social media, and it's always @certified Noonas. But Instagram and Twitter, those are the places to get a hold of us, the easiest, I would say. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certified Noonas to be a member of the Certified Found Family, our found family on the web, which, as we mentioned, we do have a movie night every month, and like stuff that gets, they get special episodes first, before everyone else. It's a lot of fun going on over there. And of course, you can listen to this podcast wherever podcasts can be found for the most part. But if you want links to everything we're talking about, you got to go to certifiednoonas.com, our home on the web, where all of the episodes with links and to all the stuff we talk to are just lovingly laid there for your viewing and listening pleasure. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. Wash your hands, wear a mask, our usual vibes, and of course, keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Bye.
Bye.